through multitudinous modes leading to an innovation promotion ecosystem in the campus. I'm extremely overwhelmed to get this opportunity to welcome you all in this tremendous Tuesday as small cheer and great welcome make a merry feast. I am honored to welcome our respected correspondent Tiruke Palanisamy sir, Protective Principal Dr. N. Raman sir, esteemed Dr.C.R.RENE Robin sir, and eminent personality who graced us as our chief guest of this session. I extend my cordial welcome to all other luminaries like IIC KESC President Dr. J. Gayatri ma'am and Vice President Dr. B.G. Sumati ma'am, Organizer Dr. M. Lalita ma'am, and all other IIC coordinators and student coordinators and other supportive staffs and students to this remarkable session. The key to growth is the introduction of higher dimensions of consciousness into our awareness. It is the time to introduce our exceptional chief guest, Dr. C.R.RENE Robin sir. Dr. C.R.RENE Robin sir has received his ME and PhD degrees from CEG, Anna University. Passion drives our profession as passion towards work yields satisfaction in work. He is currently working as a professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering and Dean at the Sairam Engineering College, Chennai. He is a recognized supervisor of Anna University to guide PhD scholars, doctoral committee member of Anna University, Satyabama University, Wells University, Sapita University, and BHE University. He is also a lifetime member of ISTE and ambassador of ACM and Goodwill Ambassador for Plastic Free Tamil Nadu project. He has been a programmer at Ramanujan Computing Center, Anna University. At Jerusalem, he was the head of the CSE department, joint director of AAA, and associate dean. He was the project head for the skill development project funded by DDU-GKY by Government of India and TNSRLM by Government of Tamil Nadu, and nodal officer for the National Skills Qualifications Framework NSQF under UGC. Appreciation is the highest form of acknowledgement of presence of good wherever we shine the light of our thoughts. Its awards and achievements include 75 publications in national and international journals and conferences. He received Mentor Award from IBM for the Great Mind Challenge at 2011, Young IT Professional Award at 2012, Award for Teaching Excellence at Interglobal Education Summit at 2013. He has trained more than 3,500 teachers and served as a resource person for around 70 webinars on various topics. Every moment is a new fresh beginning, a wonderful speech for a great journey with pride to change the reality at any moment. It is my privilege to welcome our chief guest, Dr. C.R.RENE Robin sir, to share his valuable thoughts.
Thank you, Mr. Rahul.
I hand over this session to Dr. C.R.RENE Robin sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rahul, for the brief introduction about me. Very good morning to all. Thank you, Mr. Rahul, for giving this brief introduction about me. Very good morning to all. Kindly check my video, audio, and I will share my screen. Can you make me as a co-host so that I can share my screen? Organizers, can you make me as co-host? I can share my screen.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Good morning, sir. Gayatri.
Good morning. Good morning. It's my great privilege and honor being here to share my knowledge on startup and innovation
Recording stopped.
ecosystem. Just a minute, I will share my screen. Hope my screen is shared now. I thank the principal correspondent and the heads of the department and Madam Gayatri for inviting me to deliver my
Sir,
knowledge.
kindly excuse me, sir.
Madam,
We have made your course, so can you kindly switch on the recording room?
I have already shared my screen. Is it not shared?
Sir, the screen is shared, but
Okay.
still you are the host, so we request you to record the session.
You want me to record the session?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can make me as co-host. No. Okay, stop videos.
Recording in progress.
It's all right?
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Shall I start now with all your permissions? Yes or no? Please confirm my audio, video, and my screen. All of are perfect. Rahul?
Everything is clear, sir.
Okay.
There's no issues.
Okay. Without further delay, let me jump to the session now because you're all eagerly waiting for the session on startup and innovation ecosystem. Once again, I thank the organizers for giving this, such a wonderful opportunity to me. Okay. Let me begin my session with the latest interview given by Infosys Narayana Murthy sir. India must solve its grand challenges before thinking in terms of global leadership. We are all talking about the global leadership, and the institutions are very much eager to send people to abroad or developed nations for getting higher studies or getting good jobs and to grab the leadership position at the global level. But what is today's requirement is India must solve its grand challenges. What do you mean by grand challenges which we normally face in India? We have a lot of challenges every year, continuously keep on. We are facing these problems. The first problem we need to address is the air in toxic. For the past 50 years, the capital of a country, Delhi, is facing this problem. Every winter, this air will be polluted, and this is a most important challenge to be resolved. And another thing is, throughout the country, we have the water scarcity, and most of the people, even 80% of people, are living in villages, and the serious issue, water scarcity is a serious issue of a nation, and agriculture productivity has to improve considerably, to meet the need of 140 crores of Indians. We need to increase the productivity, agriculture productivity. And these are some of the challenges. When I talk about the global leadership, we have global leaders. We have sent, we have given global leaders to the world. Say, for example, Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, and Parag Agrawal, Satya Nadella. They are some of the examples. They are really ruling the technology firms. Uh, what is the expectation of, if you ask me, what is the real expectation of the common people? You and me. See, if you take the statistics of people moving from India to abroad or foreign countries for education or for job, the statistics says that it is around 20 percentage. So what is the expectation of remaining 80 percentage, those who are living in India? So they want, and we want a reasonable quality of air. We want clean water. We want reasonable quality health care, safety for women and children. and we want affordable housing. Okay, maybe Erode it's not an issue, but in Chennai it is a major issue of buying a house. The right side wall is not ours, left side wall is not ours, the ceiling is not ours, floor is not ours. Okay, but for that we need to provide crores of rupees to buy a house in an apartment. People want really affordable housing and reasonable quality transportation, reasonable quality schooling and college education for their children, and hassle-free public governance, and do not want any harassment from bribe-seeking petty officials. These are all some of the I've listed out some of the expectation of the common people, those who are in India. You may ask that why you are all talking to me. The next stage is to make our higher education institution more useful to solve the grand challenges of a country. So the government is really depending on the higher education institutions. Why government of India is spending crores and crores rupees for promoting startups and innovations through Ministry of Education and Institutions Innovation Council (IIC), various schemes like Yukti 2.0, Kapila, Arya. Why these initiatives, hackathons, Smart India hackathons, and other ideathons, so on? Why government of India is more focused on educational institutions, especially higher educational institutions? We need to think about it. Every time when we step into a higher education institutions, it is not only to get a degree, but beyond that, we are called to do something for the nation, for the society, for our community. So that is what these are all we are placing in front of you. And we are depending on the higher education institutions. Higher education institution. We need to attract the foreigners. We need to attract foreign students. We need more people. How the developed nations, why we are more passionate towards do our higher studies in developed nations. Why can't we develop such an ecosystem in our country, within our institutions, to attract more students, to boost the economy of our country? We need to check it out. So there's a technical error. Let us wait for a few minutes. We'll come back to you soon. Yeah, I'm back. Kindly make me as co-host. Host கொடுக்க வேண்டாம், co-host கொடுங்க. You be the host. Okay, shall I continue?
Recording in progress.
I started recording. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir, you can continue, sir.
Yeah, this is what the expectation of the remaining 80% of the people, those who are living in India. Am I right? So we need to provide technological solution for our innovation, product innovation, or process innovation to meet these challenges. Okay, this is what I have observed from the interview, and it is not very difficult because we already India has succeeded several. Already we have a lot of past experience, successful past experiences, and we have successfully handled several issues when we were starving for food. Professor Swaminathan has made a great revolution in the agriculture field, and we have solved the problem of food storages at least for the coming few years. And when the polios like polio attack, missiles, TBs, and several other diseases came, we have tackled and handled with the vaccinations. And we have vibrant software services. Now, India is exporting softwares. The foreign exchange has increased anywhere between $90 billion to $100 billion. And recent the COVID-19 period, we have developed our own vaccine and distributed to the entire world. It has saved a lot of people, though we have surveys or we have struggled a lot. And we have sent satellites to space. We have achieved tremendous, remarkable achievement in space engineering. Okay, so if you see the rocketry film, you will know about the reason, and a lot of things are coming out from this film. We have succeeded several things. You know, if this is concern about the common man, and I just want to tell about Prince William, his concern about the to save the earth, to address the global warming. He has announced Prince William or the Earth should praise to encourage climate actions, and he has launched Prince William has launched 50 million pounds to protect and restore nature. By 2030, we choose to ensure that for the first time in human history, the nature world is growing, not shrinking on our planet, and build a waste-free world. And by 2030, we choose to build a world where nothing goes to waste, where the leftovers of one process becomes the raw materials of the next, just like they do in nature. So it is cyclic process. The creation itself, God has created this world uh, like this. And revive our oceans. By 2030, we choose to prepare and preserve our oceans for future generations. Are we doing this? The every plastics and the things which we are throwing out now it is accumulated at oceans, and species like fishes are eating these plastics. And when we eat the same fish as a food, we without knowing we are consuming plastics. And there is a threatening in the future disease that today we are all checking about the blood level in the the sugar level in the blood, but days are not too far to check the plastic level in the blood. So microplastics, the chances are there for the microplastics to go to our blood cells. And clean our air. By 2030, we choose to ensure that everyone in the world breathes clean, healthy air. Our World Health Organization standard are better. Fix our climate. By 2030, we choose to fix the world's climate by cutting our carbon, building a carbon neutral economy that lets every culture, community, and country thrive. So, industrialization has made a lot of revolution, there is no doubt at all. But at the same time, what is observed in the previous century is due to this industrialization, the industry has started emitting a lot of carbon dioxide, and it is highly dangerous for the human health, and it is polluting the entire nature. And the ozone, the holes started appearing in ozone layer, so the direct sunlight will penetrate to the earth and it causes various diseases. It is vulnerable to the human life. So we have to be very careful about our climate and what best we can do for our climate. So this what the earth shoot. I just take you to this this website. If you want, you can. So sorry. A lot of details are available in website earthshoot. If you can take a screenshot, earthshoottrace.org. And I just want to tell about the contribution of Vinisha Uma Shankar, clean air. And every day he made a survey of how many carbon dioxide being emitted every day by the people those who are ironing using the coal-based iron cot. Vinisha Uma Shankar is hailing from Tiruvannamalai, Tamil Nadu, and proves she thinking about it, and she wanted to tell it to the world that it is the emission of carbon dioxide, or the carbon dioxide being emitted every day, may cause serious issues for the human being. So she wanted to do something, an alternative. Her alternative is nothing but the 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 solar enabled iron cot. And she applied for this Shoot Award, and by her innovation, she got an opportunity to visit various countries to address various people. Recently, she has addressed in UN in front of all the world leaders. So I encourage you to uh, innovate something. So what is required for innovation? If you ask me, there are four components. One is collaboration, ideation, implementation, value creation. Okay, what do you mean by collaboration? What do you mean by collaboration? Since I am sitting in Chennai, I am working for the Sairam Engineering College as Professor and Dean Innovation. You are sitting at Erode representing Kongu Arts and Science College. And it happened to meet one of your professors, Dr. Gayatri Madam, in Chennai Trade Centers. I am followed by last week when I came to Coimbatore, we met and we started collaborating. So what best we can do for our students? So exchanging knowledge. Ma'am has requested me to share my knowledge on startup and innovation ecosystem. So we have developed a innovation ecosystem. At the end of my presentation, I will talk about innovation ecosystem, which we have developed for Sairam institutions. It can be applied for other institutions. higher education institutions. And madam has requested me. So there was a collaboration. So I am sharing my knowledge. It's a kind of collaboration. Similarly, you need to come forward to collaborate with each other. As a single person, you cannot do anything. If you want to innovate something, collaboration is very, very important. And second is ideation. Let me talk about what is collaboration is one type of group activity familiar to community development. Okay, what collaboration you have? Are you focused? You are focusing on any community development? You are encouraged to do something for your community. Collaboration means to work together, building relationship towards a process, something in common, something in common. Okay, 2 to 3 people are collaborating and sharing their ideas and collaborating, developing something that is nothing but process for a common cause. And collaborative process is more than working together. It means the ability to think together, to act on complex. So we normally say wavelength, the frequency of the people. We need to think together and what can we do together? What will we learn together? What should we do together? What will do together? I'm not talking about your group studies. I know the college students normally what they do before one day before the examination, they will all collaborate with each other. They will all sit in one room and do the group study. I'm not talking that as collaboration. You need to collaborate for the good cause, something for the society. I need to think in such a way that what best we can provide as a higher education institution, a student studying in higher education institutions. You have IICs, Innovation Institution Council, Institution Innovation Council. What best I can give to my society? Are you do you have that kind of thought process in you? Are you encouraged to do? Are you encouraged to think in such a way? Anyway, every student you are supposed to submit a project at the final year. You have to submit your project. What kind of project you are thinking? What kind of ideation you have done? What kind of collaboration you are planning for developing your product? Listen and explore, learn and adjust. We don't have adjustability factor. We need to be very patient and learning and things, exploring things, and you need to be very focused and aligned, and you have to link and leverage. So that is nothing but that is what I just want to tell about collaboration. Next is ideation. When I say ideation, what is the first thing will come to our mind? Idea is nothing but a bulb. Okay, it's a bright. Okay, what is an idea? Sometimes you may have idea. Every student have ideas. You have lot of ideas for your future. You have lot of ideas for your betterment, for your safety, for your wealth, for your health. Definitely, you will have lot of ideas. Sometimes your ideas may be bright ideas. Sometimes your ideas may be green ideas. Sometimes your ideas may be business idea. And sometimes your ideas are broken ideas, and sometimes it may be small idea. Sometimes it may be big ideas, and sometimes your ideas are collection of many ideas, and sometimes you may come up with any idea, no idea. Okay, an idea is in general. An idea is a thought or a concept which proposes a course of action to achieve a desired goal. What is your goal to be achieved? I normally ask the students what you want to be after graduation. If I ask the same question, what would be your answer? I'm not asking your answer. I'm not asking you to unmute your mic and tell your answer. You ask this question to yourself and provide answer to yourself. What do you want to be after completing your graduation? Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea? Okay. The next is the first we have seen the collaboration. Second we have seen ideation. Third is implementation. We have to implement, and finally we're all working for the value creation. How the values, how your ideas will be validated, appreciated, encouraged, accepted by the community through setting up of startups. When you become an entrepreneur, and when you encourage entrepreneurship, and when you protect your ideas through intellectual property rights. These are creating values, or adding values to your ideas. Simply being, simply, oh, no. Hello? I'm in talk. So startups and entrepreneurship. So startups and entrepreneurship and protecting it through intellectual property right. Protecting it intellectually, intellectual property right. 1 minute. So setting up of startups, it adds values, and when your idea will become an enterprise, and if you become an entrepreneur, then it creates, adds more value. And if you protect your ideas with the help of intellectual property right, I have a lot of videos on intellectual property right in my YouTube channel. You can watch if you if you wish to explore more on this. And what is the importance of innovation over here? See, the nowadays the startups and IPR are the major pillars of higher education institutions. Gone are the days we were concentrating only on education. So we were focused on educational ecosystem, and we are slowly migrating from educational ecosystem to innovation ecosystem. Hope you are all aware of it. Innovation ecosystem. Am I right? So this startups, and say earlier the statutory bodies won't ask anything about startups and intellectual property, right? But nowadays they started asking. So say for example NBA, NAC, and other accreditation, university accreditation. Nowadays, mandatory columns are there. How many startups you have set up? How many intellectual properties you have registered, granted? So similar things are there. My dear students, what is the basis innovation? If there is no innovation, you cannot go for setting up of a startup. If there is no innovation, you cannot go for any protecting your idea. The innovation is all about, I just want to tell about before innovation. You must know what is discovery, what is invention, then you can come to innovation. Discovery is nothing but something, finding out something which is already in existence. Columbus discovered America, Vasco da Gama discovered India. They have discovered, identified, found something was already in existence. And what is invention is nothing but Thomas Alva Edison invented electric bulb. So he spent hours together, days together, years together, spent his entire life in the laboratory, and finally he invented electric bulb. And this is what the difference between discovery and invention. If you ask me what is the difference between invention and innovation, I tell you with the same example that Thomas Alva Edison invented electric bulb. You and me are not using the same electrical bulb. So we have modified it, and we have made some new thoughts over there on top of it, and the latest LED bulbs and other things we are using. It is a kind of innovation. So innovation is very, very easy. Take an existing product and insert some of the components, then you can claim it is in innovation you have made over this. And I just want to tell the definition of innovation. The small equation, innovation is equal to invention multiplied by commercialization. Invention is your new idea, and commercialization. Commercial is nothing but making money out of it. You're applying your knowledge and converting your knowledge into wealth. You're making money. If you're not making money from any product, you cannot claim that is innovation. So, my dear students, if you have innovation in your hand, you can go to set up a startup. Without innovation, new product, otherwise you cannot attract the customers. We have 140 crores people in India. We have huge market. We have huge market, and the startups and entrepreneurships are everywhere. If you turn higher education institution, Ministry of Education, AICTE, UGC, and your universities, you're all talking about startups, entrepreneurship. So what is the difference between the startups and entrepreneurship? Earlier there were only one common word for these two things, that is business unit. When you set up a business unit, and the business unit will be called as startups for 0 to 3 years or 5 years, maximum 5 years, where you will get lot of support. You need lot of supports, and you will struggle a lot to for workspace, for workspace, for seed fund, and for mentorship and sponsorship. So those periods are called startups, and once you are established, your startups will become an enterprise. So you will start your entrepreneurship journey over there, from there, and you will get lot of turnovers, you will get lot of customers, and you will not find any much difficult to run your business. And banks will come forward to provide loans. So for all these things, we need to protect our ideas in the name of intellectual property rights. And what the government of India is doing for students, if you have bright ideas, where you can go for mentorship and sponsorship. If you ask me, I will point it out, and I will direct you to go to one single point, name is Yukti 2.0. So teachers are aware of it now. The IIC is integrated with Yukti 2.0, and Yukti 2.0 IIC 2.0 is a government portal where you can submit your ideas, and it will be reviewed by the experts. And based on your complexity, the mentorship or the sponsorship will be given, and the mentors will be with you to assist your ideas, help you to convert your ideas into product. So the institution can get their own login. As a student, you can apply. As an education institution can apply. The startup of student startup, faculty startup, and staff startup can apply. An institution incubator on behalf of startups created by student faculty, they can apply. So for that, we need to log in and get the login credentials, and I can apply. So if you look at the statistics of ICTI 2.0, these are all the various sectors where people have submitted their ideas till now: healthcare, food processing, fashion and technology, electronics, education, defense and security, conventional energy, consumer goods and retail, clean tech, chemical, agriculture and allied industries, aerospace, aviation space, water, sanitation and waste management, tourism and hospitality, technologies for grassroots impact, robotics and drones. So these are all the various sectors, and there I saw an interesting distribution in the ICTI 2.0, state-wise distribution. Tamil Nadu has submitted 6,425 ideas so far, and Maharashtra, the second place, have submitted 2,749 ideas. Karnataka has submitted 1,800 and 1,703 ideas. Okay, and now IIC is insisting education institutions to submit more ideas and get more mentorship and sponsorship from the government referred people. So what Kongu Arts and College can do is, you can create your own login. I think already you would have got, and your ideas. So the ideas which you are planning to do as your final year projects can be submitted, and once you submit, your ideas will be reviewed, and you will get extra. See, already you have a supervisor in your campus. In addition, that when you get a mentor from outside who is well expert in your domain, see, your ideas can be taken into any level. So don't miss this kind of opportunity. Okay, this is my expectation that tomorrow there will be an visualization in the ICTI 2.0 portal of the institution wise distribution. Okay, so please be ready for grabbing your position in the visualization, unit wise visualization. What Tamil Nadu government is doing, we're all aware of Tamil Nadu startup and Tamil Nadu TANSEED, Tamil Nadu TANSIN, Tamil Nadu Startup and Innovation Mission has announced 10 lakhs grant for each startup. If you have an idea, if you have a startup, and if you want fund, you can apply. And Tamil Nadu Startup, Startup Tamil Nadu, that is TANSIN, is willing to provide maximum 10 lakhs rupees for each idea or startup. The deadline is closing 31st August 2020 is the last day to apply. So if you have any bright ideas, you can go to Udayam registration and you can submit your ideas. Okay, don't waste your time. And fresh paper, I just want to tell about something about fresh paper. His name is Kavita Sukla. Kavita Sukla hailing from India and settled in United States of America. When she was doing college, she started thinking about do something, some innovation. So already her grandma taught her how to preserve food with the help of the spices. You would have noticed in villages, sugars can be preserved with the help of a piece of cinnamon. பட்டை இருக்குல்ல பட்டை வந்து ஒரு பீஸ் சுகர் கண்டெய்னரில் போட்டுட்டோம்னா இட் protects, it preserves it. So similar kind of tips her grandma already given to Kavita Sukla. Then she started thinking of why don't we do something for preserving food. Okay, so if you go to the markets, every day how many tons of vegetables and fruits we are wasting at market because we don't have the proper mechanism to preserve this. Government of India has recently announced one hackathon to preserve onions, technology to preserve onion. Okay, because the statistics is very clearly say that in general 20 to 30 percentage of the onions will uh, so without usage it is going to going as a waste. And during this rainy season this percentage will increase from 20 to 30 percentage to 50 percentage of the production is going as waste without, since we don't have the good mechanism to preserve these vegetables and foods. And Kavita Sukla has submitted a project as part of her PG project when she was doing PG, and it has been accepted and graded properly by the supervisors and other people. And she came up with a fresh paper. The fresh paper is something like that. If you keep a small fresh paper inside a basket full of fruits or vegetables, it preserves the food and vegetables for a long time. It's all made up of organic and spices. It's all taught by her grandma. And another innovation I just want to tell you about is Smart's yes folding umbrella. You know, it is a common thing every time when we common thing when we go to uh, rainy season, rainy season, and showing a message that is a free meeting will end in 10 minutes. The meeting host needs to upgrade to paid amount. Okay, please organizers, please take care of it. It is going to end. The Zoom is going to end. And Sense Smart ES folding umbrella designed with the principles of aerodynamics, and it will withstand this kind of. They have not done anything. Just made a small change in the design, and it will withstand up to 60 kilometer per hour wind. Okay, so this is what they have made. A floor mat, see, this is what I have seen. Right hand side, you could see the floor mat of imported floor mat imported by China, and this is what our traditional thing. And even you can make some innovation over the floor mat to attract your customers. In the recent days, I have visited one of the shops to buy tambulam tattu, where I have seen the rose gold tambulam tattu made in China, but we have not done any research or innovation over there. Even the Tanjavur Pumai and all, the same it is. We are retaining as it is without making any innovation. So that is what this kind of programs are highly helpful to you. And I'm one of the goodwill ambassadors and for Niglin Masala Tamil Nadu. And when you do project, how I just want to sow some seeds. When you do the project, my dear students, so do the project is going to help your local community and or the global people. Okay. So problems are originated in library and end up in library. So go to village, go to society, and come up with some kind of problem. Don't formulate your problem from some papers, some journals. Okay. So this is what my humble request. So these are some of the snapshot Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT Design Lab, how they are working real time. So Albert Einstein said, I had an hour to solve a problem. I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about solution. What mistake we normally we we are very poor in critical thinking and design thinking. So thinking without thinking will directly without jump thinking without planning will directly jump to solve the problem and takes no time to solve. But this great man Albert Einstein is recommending that if I get 1 hour time to solve a problem, I will think about solving problem 55 minutes. The next 5 minutes, I will solve the problem. So it's a, what a uh, an idea is giving to us. Okay. So keeping this, we have initiated the Sairam as, and a problem well stated is a problem half solved. Okay. If you can able to write your problem statement well, and half of your problem is solved. A problem well stated is a problem half solved. So we have initiated what Sairam has done at our campus. We have developed an innovation, Sairam innovation ecosystem for the holistic development of the students. So NEP, National Education Policy 2020, is talking about the holistic development of the student. And we have to think about the holistic development. Students, those who are coming to college, not only coming to college to get a degree, beyond that, you are called to do something for the society, for the people. So keeping this mind, we have developed this innovation ecosystem. Since we are an engineering institution, 4 years of study, this ecosystem is developed to for 4 years program, and the similar program can be done for a 3 years program, arts and science college. And we call this model as a competition based learning model. So we are all experienced in uh, activity based learning model, then uh, then project based learning model. Okay. So what this model is all about is competition based learning model, because even in Ministry of Education, IIC, AICT, UGC, they are all keep on coming up with some problem, some competition. So the competition, we strongly believe that competitive spirit will make the student to innovate something. So keeping this in mind, we are proposing 4 competitions in all 4 years. First year, the competition is called Sairam SDG Ideathon. Second year, Sairam SDG Salvathon. Third year, Sairam SDG Innavathon. Final year, Sairam SDG Inspirathon. Okay, this is what our 4 years model. And whoever is coming to our institutions, so this model will help them to develop their own product, and it encourage them to set up their own startup. Okay, these are all a brief introduction about it. The first year we are talking about immersion program, taking the students to villages, industry, society, and why not they can go to their own kitchen to realize the expectation, need of the society. So from that, they are supposed to submit their idea. So we are generating the ideas, and critical thinking is being a part of their education. And at the end, the competition will be held, and how big their ideas, and how it is helping sustainable development goals. Hope you are all aware of sustainable development goals of United Nations. There are 17 goals and 169 targets. United Nations has proposed to preserve the earth, to ensure the prosperity and peace of the planet, and the target need to be achieved before 2030. This is what the expectation. And the next year, so we have conducted several programs, and we are conducting several programs. This is all about the Saramestige Ideathon 1.0, internal evaluation, external evaluation, and it's a year-long program. And the end of the year, the evaluation will be done, and we launched every year beginning. We launch this program and clearly tells the rules and regulations to the students. And the second edition were conducted in the last May. Uh, a representative from UN Regional Project Office Sustainable Development Goals Student Program for Asia Pacific, United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network Youth Initiative. Dr. Sultan Khalifa Harun Al Rashid represented um, and witnessed the program along with the formerly City Innovation Officer, Mr. M.P. Azhagu Pandya Raja. And the left hand side, you could see by various juries we have invited from the startup enablers, the innovation enthusiast, and the innovation evangelist, successful entrepreneurs. We have invited them and they have reviewed and students are recognized. This is what one of the video and the testimony you could hear.
Okay, so let's take an example of IPL. Look at the IPL in 2008, 9 and 10 and look what are the companies that is sponsoring now for the IPL. So Credit, Dream11, most of these are startups, right? So the next 10 years focus is going to be on startups, and for startups the seed is sown right when you are in college, and in college generally it begins with an innovation event or ideathon that is happening there. So I really appreciate Sairam Group of Institutions for taking the effort to bring out the ideas in students. Especially, it is not an easy feat to get around 600 ideas from students. Itself calls for a big round of applause. And next, it is not only just to make the students present the idea. I also noticed that they are being told to take on the idea towards their second year, third year, fourth year, and then work it out as a project and then a viable model as well. So I think that also is definitely an appreciable thing from Sairam Group of Institutions. Thank you.
The testimony given by one of the jury.
Okay, so
the second year when they come, they will go to the Salvathon, Sairam SDG Salvathon. We have a live in lab. Students will be taught design thinking. Various boot camps and technological training will help them to, and the feasibility of their ideas will be checked here, and accelerator programs. In addition, that business model development, how to, it's not an idea, it's a business. We teach them it's a business, and the business model will be developed. And these are the instructions given for Sairam SDG Salvathon. And the first version 1.0 Sairam SDG Salvathon 1.0 was the chief guest was Ms. Nagalashmi Vijay Kumar and Professor Timothy Gonsalves. I came out. Sorry, there's a technical error. So this is how we have signed MOE with IIT LEAP program. The third year, the competition is called the Sairam SDG Innovathon, and where we will evaluate their innovation, and prototype will be developed in the third year. And once the prototypes are developed, the students will get confident of showcasing their project outside world, and we'll teach them how to pitch, business pitching, and the technology readiness level will teach them. And the first batch, Sairam SDG Innovathon, we have started. We launched the program last week. The guests came from Urbesa Summit, the famous people, those who are involved in the company involved in cleaning Chennai city, solid waste management. And finally, here, Sairam SDG Inspirathon, the final product development goes on, and inspiration through the paper publication and patent publication, setting up of startups, and knowledge to wealth commercialization is a part of the final year thing. And we have some innovative process called innovation clinic, Sairam Innovation Clinic, encouraging students to come up with the ideas, and we experts will help them to convert their ideas into intellectual property rights. Sairam Technoculture is another best practices we have in our campus to promote technology in agriculture domain. It's my recommendation that every institution setting up of a startup must be a criteria for the completion of any degree, any higher education degree in India. Maybe it's little hard to think, but need to come to encourage more so that we can complement the Startup India projects. And my second recommendation is every higher education institutions need to set up a technology business incubator to inside the campus to attract potential engineers. And you focus your research on these areas: avoid plastics, no poverty, zero hunger, physical health, quality education, gender equality, and I have given various sectors, and you'll definitely come up. And Uber, the world's largest taxi company, wants no vehicle. Facebook, the world's most popular media owner, creates no content. Alibaba, the most valuable retailer, has no inventory. Airbnb, the world's largest accommodation provider, owns no real estate. I have um, various YouTube channel. 1 minute. Hello. வெளியே வந்துட்டேம்மா. நான் பேசுறேன். அந்த யூடியூப்ல முடிச்சிட்டு I will come back. So I have lot of videos over there. If you wish, you can do. This is my contact details. If you wish, you can reach me for any professional assistance. If you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you so much.